Scattered seeds, roots crossed overseas. Stories carried on, whispers through the breeze. Identity stitched in colors and creed. Melanin magic, we more than needs. Dual passports, privilege in hand. Born here, but we feel another land. Invest in bricks where the ancestors stand. Diaspora dreams build castles in sand. Africa, unlock the key is in you. Bridges rebuilt, the old made new. Home is a heartbeat, don't misconstrue. Africa, unlock, it's a vibe that's true. Coming sweet.
Thank you. So everyone, thank you so much for coming. My name is Louv Ford, and I am the CEO of Attaase, the African Continent Real Estate Listing Service. It is the first exclusive listing service on the continent for real estate agents. I'm also the managing partner of Lifestyle International Greensboro, and I have had the opportunity to visit Ghana 2 occasions. Fell in love with it, was able to meet a really dynamic individual named Hanna Attaase. And so we're going to be speaking with Dr. Hanna Attaase and Her Excellency Ambassador Bennett today. I'd like to let my sister Des go ahead and introduce herself, and then we're going to give you guys a little bit of background on Hanna and Her Excellency. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Gerald, and I am the Chief Creative Director for Attaase, also the Managing Partner for Lifestyle International Realty Greensboro, and I also have a staging company called DI Real Estate and Staging. And so I am just so excited. I'm happy that you guys are here with us today. It's unprecedented times going on right now, but also exciting times for us. And it's just an honor to be here. And, you know, like I tell everybody, just to be a part of this movement, God, like choosing us to help, you know, be a part of this movement and bring awareness to the diaspora and overseas to the African continent. Well, I want to let you guys know that Louv and I, we go as sisters selling real estate online. And we have our third sister, which is Hanna Attaase. And just a little bit about Hanna. I can't, if I just rambled off all her awards, we would be here all night. We would be here all night. But just a little bit about Hanna. We're thrilled to welcome a true powerhouse in the African real estate sector, Hanna Attaase. She's not just a leader, she's a multiple award-winning visionary, driving innovation and reshaping the industry. Hanna's accolades speak for themselves. From most respected CEO to the overall African Women Achiever in real estate, and consistently named Trusted Real Estate Broker of the Year. She's been recognized as one of Ghana's top 40 CEOs and among the 100 most influential women. Her company, Ewell's Realty and Consultancy, is a force repeatedly earning Real Estate Brokerage Company of the Year awards, and Hanna herself recently honored with an honorary Doctor of Letters, is a driving force behind Attaase revolutionizing property transactions across Africa. Most recently, Ewell's Realty and Consultancy was named one of the top 100 emerging global businesses of 2025 at the House of Lords in the UK. She's not just building properties, she's building bridges and creating opportunities. Please join me in welcoming the exceptional, incomparable Dr. Hanna Attaase.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you and good evening, everybody. Good evening.
We are incredibly honored to have with us today a true pioneer in bridging the African diaspora and the continent, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Erieka Bennett. For over 45 years, she's been a driving force in African development, And for the past 20 years, she's led the Diaspora African Forum, or DAF, as everyone is mostly familiar with. DAF stands alone. It is the only diplomatic mission in the world that specifically oversees diaspora affairs across all 54 African countries. Think about that. One mission connecting the world to an entire continent. Her impact is undeniable, proven by the countless awards she's received, including the US Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. She's a visionary, a force, and she is here to share her wisdom with us. How grateful should we all be today? Join us in welcoming Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Erieka Bennett. Yeah. And so today, what we're going to do is we are going to talk about diaspora, what that means, how DAF supports diaspora relocating to the continent, and also just touch on a little bit about the home buying process. So I'm going to open up the floor to Dr. Bennett. Henry, if you can get her slides together, that would be amazing. And Dr. Bennett, I'm going to go ahead and let you take the floor. And I put a poll in the chat. If everyone can do us a favor and answer those poll questions, that would be extremely helpful to us so that we can make sure that we're serving you. And if there are additional needs that we can assist with, we want to be able to do that. So Henry, if you can go ahead and get Dr. Bennett's slides up, we can go ahead and let her start talking with our audience today.
Well, good afternoon to all of you. Good afternoon to those in the United States and other places around the world. I am Dr. Erieka Bennett, Head of Mission for the Diaspora Africa Forum. The first slide you'll see there is our embassy here in Accra, Ghana. I think that Des did a very good job in terms of describing who we are. We're the first and only diplomatic mission of its kind in the world. Our role is to deal with the diaspora. There's two types of diasporas. And African diasporas are those of you who are outside of Africa, but you know you're from Africa. And the first African is the historical diaspora. And these are those of us taken from slavery, and we're considered the historical diaspora. Those taken or go away from Africa for work, study, or greener pastures, you're considered the continental diaspora. And a good example of that would be Hanna. Hanna studied in the US and studied around the world, and she came back home and she's back in Ghana and she's doing exactly what the heads of states want to see. Louv and Des, you are the historical diaspora, and you're doing exactly what the heads of states want to see. We represent, and I say we, and I'm really glad that I have online too, is Dr. Toni Louv, who is a business person. I can just go on and on in terms of who she is, but she's the co-founder of DAF. And the most important thing is she's my sister. And so she is on the line too, and we certainly could not be doing what we're doing without her. She was in South Africa for many, many, many years, and we kidnapped her and we made her come to Ghana. And we told South Africa, we do not want any ransom at all. We don't want to pay ransom. We don't want anything. We just want her. So she's here with us. She's been with us for a year now. And she handles the business side for us. So I just really would like, and when we get off of this, she'll show you who she is. But the Diaspora Africa Forum, as we said, is, a fully diplomatic mission. We're accredited just like the American Embassy, the French Embassy, and we're accredited to the government of Ghana. and we represent all of the 54 African countries. So people get confused. They think that we're just in Ghana, but we're not. We represent the whole 54 countries. You know, again, I want to just say thank you very, very much to Liz and Des and Hanna, because they are the example of what the heads of states want to see. The heads of states now understand to move Africa forward, we've got to include the diaspora. You see, 60% of our professionals, that's our lawyers, our doctors, our teachers, our nurses, they're outside of Africa. They're in other countries helping to build other countries. So our role with the Diaspora Africa Forum, DAF, is to encourage you to not necessarily say everybody come back, but look back. There's something that everybody can do in terms of moving Africa forward. Next slide. Okay, well, I'll just keep on going. Ghana is, yes, that's my next slide. One of the things that the heads of state says now is that the diaspora is the 6th region of Africa. We have 5 regions: North, South, East, West, and Central. And that star coming in to Africa is the 6th region of Africa. And one of the things that the heads of states is saying, the importance of us. We created this flag on 02/02/2022. So we fly our own flag. That is the 6th region. So we want all of you on this line to get your flag. This is your flag. When people say who you are, you say, I am the diaspora. I'm the 6th region person. There's almost 350 million of us around the world. And so that's your flag. So I really want all of you to get your flag. The other flag is our flag, the Diaspora Africa Forum. We fly our own flag as well. Next slide. One of the things that's very, very important for you to really, really understand is that we're creating and helping to create a option for you. You know, there's a certain group that's gotten citizenship already. I was one of the ones who got the citizenship under President Mahama, who is our current president, in 2016. And then the other president, President Kufuor, President Nana, he gave almost 1,000 African Americans and the Caribbean citizenship. And we were very instrumental in helping that to happen. I think also on the line is Chanel. Chanel is a lawyer based in Paris, but she comes back and forth and she works with us on legal matters, which really helps people to get the citizenship. If you go to the website, the Ghana website, and you'll be seeing that in one of the other slides, it'll tell you exactly what the normal procedure is to get citizenship. But the presidents in the country, there's a special initiative, and they have the rights to give citizenship to those they feel can or has already helped the country. And so that's a presidential special initiative. And again, Chanel and then also Abdul, the two of them are the lawyers with our firm who can really help you get your paperwork together and, you know, apply. This government is new right now. They've
You're on mute.
Okay. Those who are interested in citizenship, as I said, we have 2 lawyers who can help you. That's Chanel and Abdul Latif, and they can help in terms of getting your paperwork and helping you to apply for citizenship. I don't know if you heard what I said before, but the new government just started January the 7th, and they do have a presidential diaspora office that reports directly to the president, and they are on the line as well. And basically, they will be doing a special presidential initiative. And I hope that you heard me, because it did cut off for a minute, but each president has the right to give citizenship to those that they feel can support the country or is supporting the country. So we encourage all of you to register with us so that when that initiative comes forward, you will be there. Ghana is certainly one of the most Pan-African countries out of the 54. There's no question about that. I mean, we've had, and it started with Kwame Nkrumah, we've had Maya Angelou, we've had Padmore, W.E.B. Du Bois. All of these people have come to Ghana and really made an impact here. So I really, really do feel, but again, those of you who want to get citizenship, some of the other countries are doing that as well. Sierra Leone, Gambia. In fact, Gambia will give citizenship based on your DNA. And we're very, very involved with all of the different 54 countries and encourage them to do the same thing. Let's see. Now, living in Ghana, one of the things that we say, and I really hope people really, really understand this, is that you need to be very, very intentional in terms of why you want to come to Ghana or why you want to come to Africa. I know the situation in the States, and I won't get political right now, but every day we get hundreds of people writing us asking, how do they get citizenship? How can they buy property and all of that? And that's why Hanna is going to be on the line to talk about that. She represents us in terms of our real estate in. So we refer everybody to her. And I think they did a good job in terms of identifying and letting you know who she is. She's dynamic. She really is the #1 agent in Ghana. Let's see what else I want to say. I want to give you some examples of some success stories. Again, Chanel, who's a lawyer in Paris, she's one of our real success stories too. She's at the #1 law school there in Paris. And she is giving her talents to the Diaspora Africa Forum. We have Annabelle, who is an African-American from Philadelphia, and she's with the Ghana Tourist Authority. She's the one who started the movement of come back to Ghana. And then we have Beverly Williams, who is a real estate project person, and she does real estate development. And then we have Mahar Cook, who is a young, dynamic, well, I have to tell you, he's my son, and he runs our 2 training centers. We have 2 training centers where we train young people. I don't want to go on and on and on, because I really do want you to ask questions, because I think that's how people really, really, interaction is one of the things that I really want you to do. So let's do the last slide, Henry. I already talked about the 6th region. You know about the 6th region. And so now you all are part of the 6th region, those outside of Africa. And you're considered a continental diaspora. No, you're considered the historical diaspora, those of you from slavery. And those Ghanaians, Nigerians like Hanna and her brother and their family, they're considered the continental diasporas. So there's two, the continental and the historical. And then the sixth region of Africa, and that's your flag. Next. Okay, and as I said, the Ghana Citizenship Project, Ghana has done over 1,000 African Americans and Caribbeans under the Special Presidential Initiative. And, you know, they're really, really contributing. Several of them are doing, we have several projects at DAF. We have our training centers. We have our youth employment program. We have 2 football teams, and a school and an orphanage. So a lot of people contribute to that phase of us as well. Unlike, and then the most important thing before I hang up is our Sankofa wall. We have a wall there called the Sankofa wall. The Sankofa wall means come back to your roots. And the descendant puts the name of their ancestor on that wall. We have Rosa Parks, we have Harriet Tubman, we have John Lewis, we have Michelle Obama's mother and father. So that's what you would do, is put the name of your ancestor on that wall. And that's very, very exciting. When people come and we do a ceremony, when you come, you don't even have to come. You just can give us your name and your number and your email, and we can put the name on the wall and then send you pictures if you're not here. So in closing, I think that we have all of our information there. We have our website, we're on the Twitter, we're on the Instagram, the Facebook, we have all of that. The last slide, Henry. Okay, I've lived in Ghana for 25 years. My favorite thing about Ghana is its people. The people are warm and friendly. And as a senior, and I know that my sister and my son is tired of me talking about this, but I have a birthday coming up next month. I will be 75 years old. And as a senior, they know how to take care of elders. So if we have some elders in this group, Ghana is the place to be when you retire. And there's a lot of opportunities in terms of investing in Africa, period. You know, the media kind of really, you know, depicts Africa as war, famines, AIDS, and coups. And there's so much more. There's beauty. My lifestyle in Ghana, I have not lived this kind of lifestyle in the United States or anywhere else in the world. And Ghana needs everything. Africa needs everything. So all you have to do is be resourceful. And I tell people, don't come looking for a job, come creating a job. So I think that's it for me. Last slide. And that's my sister. She's getting her citizenship, and that's why we're all smiling. And she did it around the time right after COVID. So that's why I have my mask on. But these are my details: the Facebook, the Instagram, the email, and that's our contact number. Again, I want to say thank you to Des and Louv and Hanna, you know, for being the type of diasporians that the heads of states want to see. You know, we represent all 54 African countries. So it's not just Ghana that you can consider. Any of the 54 African countries you can consider. So is there any questions before I sign off?
Hi, Auntie. Happy birthday. We love you. Lisa, Lynn, and Leslie are on the line. You look amazing, and we can't wait to see you soon.
You're coming for the birthday, I know. I know you're coming for the birthday.
We're working on it.
Their mother is one of our founding board members,
Wow.
and we would not be where we are today without her. Their mother is Maisie Green Holland, and I mean, you talk about a real Pan-Africanist, and she traveled to the 50 countries that I traveled to in Africa. She went with me, a lot of them. So again, I'm glad to see the three of you, and you're going to be continuing your mother's legacy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So we do have a question that came in. Someone wants to know, is Vanda. Vanda, thanks so much for being on today. She wants to know, how do we get our flag? I want to know too.
The flags are available. All you have to do is just go to our info. I don't see that on the line, but it's info@diasporaafricaforum.org. Info.
Ambassador, I put our details on the chat. I
Okay.
answered the question and I put our details on the chat.
Well, that's my sister speaking, Dr. Toni Luck, and that's her getting her citizenship. So our details, that anybody who wants that flag, just really give us a call and we can ship it to you, and you'll have it, and we want you to display it around the world. Next.
Okay, so the next question is, thought this was a real estate presentation from Chris. Chris, we are going to be discussing the home buying process, a brief overview next, shortly. So just sit tight, bear with us. Let me see if there's any other questions. Vanda, I'm bringing a group there in June. Can I get a real estate tour and meet some of you guys? Absolutely, Vanda. Should we have her reach out to us?
We'll get in touch with
Yeah, we'll get in touch with you. We have your email information, so we'll get in touch with you.
How do we get involved and help the mission?
How do we get involved to help the mission? And that's from Shamir. I hope I'm not butchering your name. Shamraya? Shamraya? Okay.
Well, Shamaya, that is a perfect question. First of all, we have a supporters wall. We have a wall where people who want to donate to any of our programs and donate to the things that we're doing, you can do that. We have all of these different programs, and when you go to our website, you'll see them. And we have a women's program, we have youth program, we have all kinds of programs. So wherever your interest lies, just let us know that. And you can certainly be a part of us. The family is growing. Now we have many people. As Dr. Luck says all the time, we have 350 million people that's part of our embassy. So if you're interested, and we hope that you are, just send us an email to info, which she just put on the chat, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
All right. The next question is from Dezidzo. I would really love to be a volunteer. Is this possible? Do you take young volunteers?
Yes, we do. We have people, we have a lot of students, and we have a lot of interns that come through there too. One of the things that has been very good, and I'm glad they asked that question, because, we have a lot of people like Chanel and Cordy, and they came in volunteering for us, and they stayed with us. We helped them find what they needed, and they ended up starting their own business, and very, very successful businesses. So yes, we definitely appreciate volunteers. Next.
Oh, I wasn't unmuted. Sorry about that. I believe that's all the questions I see right now. However, I do want to give Mama T a chance to say hello to everyone if she'd like to.
Because we love you so much.
We
too,
love you,
Mama
Mama T.
Thank
We
you for
got a
coming to
chance
the
to see
grand
Mama T
opening.
when we were there.
Please say hello to everyone.
Hey, I was trying to just be quiet. I'm I've been working for the last couple of days, but hello, everyone. Congratulations to you four wonderful ladies for putting this amazing conversation together. This is the way Africa is going to grow. I'm excited about Acryls. It's a wonderful, wonderful initiative. I was blessed to be there when you guys started open. That's so wonderful. Of course, my sister, Ambassador Erieka Bennett, has dragged all of us to Africa. Much of us didn't want to go, but now we're all here. The whole family's pretty much here. And of course, Maisie is our special angel looking over us, pushing all of us into the African context. So for all of you who are on, almost 100 people, you're welcome. There's a lot to do in Africa. As a matter of fact, I'm in another country. I'm not in Ghana right now. And the reason I'm so quiet is I went through the streets of this country that I am in, and I just wept at the terrible, terrible state that many of our countries are in, that needs our energy, that needs that big burst of that star. Psychological damage.
I think she's cutting in and out, but basically what she
Will be
wants to
so
say
great.
is that
Oh, okay.
this you're cutting in and out. So let me just close it so that we can let Hanna move forward. Basically, we want to say is thank you so much for coming, all of you, all 100 and whatever numbers on this chat. We need you. We want you. Africa needs you. Africa wants you. And I'm telling you, once you set your feet on the ground, the soil, you really do change. We've seen people just sky from one level to the other, just coming to Africa. So in closing, there's two types of diasporas, and we want you to remember that. Diaspora is an African that is African diaspora is those who are outside of Africa. And there's two types: the historical, those taken from slavery, and the continental, those are the Africans who know where they're from and they go out for work, study, or greener pastures. So I just really, again, wanted to buttress what my sister said. Acryls, you, Louv, and Liz, and Des, and Hanna, you're doing exactly what our heads of states want to see you do. So we salute you. And again, thank you for putting this together.
Thank you so much. Now, for those of you who don't know what Acryls is, it's the African Continent Real Estate Listing Service. We launched that January 17th, I believe, in Ghana. Louv, Hanna, and I, and we're just so excited. We're excited to bring over whoever wants to come over or who wants to invest in the continent. And so that is our mission. And so Hanna, you are up next, sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. And thank you very much, Ambassador Dr. Erieka Bennett, for your presentation, for your insights. And thank you for always availing yourself to all of us in the diaspora. So greetings from Ghana. Good evening to everyone. I'm going to talk about the home buying process in Ghana. So please take notes. Please ask me questions. I love questions. And my goal today is to debunk a lot of the myths that are going on about real estate. So I'm going to do my very best to do that. So the African real estate market is valued at over $14 trillion. But the Ghanaian real estate market is about over $400 billion. I mean, there is a lot of opportunity for real estate in Africa and in Ghana as well. So I'm going to talk about the home buying process. I'm going to start off with identifying your budget and home preference, and then finding a professional real estate agency like Ewell's Realty we do have professional real estate agents out here. I'm going to touch on identifying red flags, financing options, doing your due diligence. Due diligence, due diligence, due diligence. I can't stress that enough. And then things to be aware of. And then we're going to look at the home buying process on a flow chart. And then I'm going to make some time for Q&A. All right, next slide, please. Next slide. Great. So before you embark on your real estate purchase in Ghana, the first thing you want to do is identify your budget. You want to make sure that you get your pre-approval from a bank if you are looking to get a mortgage. If you have the finances, that's fine. There are various options, seller financing, etc. I'll get into that in more detail. In Ghana, if you're going to take out a mortgage, the banker will be looking at your net income. Typically in the US, you look at your gross income. Here it's your net income and your expenses. Your expenses are your monthly mortgage payment, entertainment, utility bills, etc. are also taken into consideration. And you typically want your debt to income ratio to be around the 30% mark or less. And then you want to look at your home preference, location, location, location. It applies here in Ghana as well. Typically, people want to look at prime areas, and that really depends on whether this is your first home or you're looking for an investment property, if you're looking at cash flow or you're considering capital appreciation. Next slide. All right. Finding a professional real estate agency like Ewell's Realty. Next slide. Let me tell you a little bit about Ewell's Realty and Consultancy. We have been around since March 2014. We are an award-winning real estate brokerage and consultancy firm based in Ghana. We have received a very strong reputation and have credibility as a trusted provider of professional real estate services for both the local Ghanaians and for the diasporas as well. Our services include individuals or entities that want to sell, buy, rent their properties, whether it's residential or commercial or land as well. We offer property management services and relocation services in partnership with DAF. We also offer first-time home buyers consultation. That's one-on-one consultations. And also December every year, right here in Ghana, we host the first-time home buyers in Ghana seminar. We also offer escrow services. I'm going to talk a little bit more about escrow services, but the purpose of offering this service is to help safeguard your investment. Escrow services we're the only company, real estate company in Ghana that provide this service. We have 3 preferred legal entities that we work with that ensure that you mitigate your risk as much as possible when it comes to purchasing properties in Ghana. We also offer real estate investment advisory services as a one-on-one consultation as well. Next slide. Why choose Ewell's Realty? Because we offer the best customer service out there, and we are keen on providing the best customer experience. My goal is to make sure that everybody that gets in contact with a Ewell's Realty representative, you'll walk away saying, wow, what an experience. And I know that the real estate home buying process in Ghana can be a bit stressful for those of you who are unfamiliar with the process. So we want to make sure it's as hassle-free as possible and to ensure that you are really enjoying the home buying process. We have experience both in the US and the Ghanaian market. We are a multi-award winning agency. Again, we offer escrow services, and we are also members of GAREB, the Ghana Association of Real Estate Brokers. We are held accountable to GAREB. We have certain codes and ethics that we must follow. And we also make sure that we provide all the opportunities that are under GAREB. So For example, clients who work with us, we ensure that we provide them with legal standardized forms for either their sales and purchase agreements or their tenancy agreements as well. These are all drafted by legal professionals. We are also members of GNCC, which is the Ghana National Chambers of Commerce, GIPC, Ghana Investment Promotion Center, and of course, we partner with DAF and the Diaspora Affairs Office of the President. Now, I've seen a viral video going around about real estate agents in Ghana who are charging moving fees or site fees just because they moved from their house to the site. Well, we do not charge any moving fees. We don't charge any site fees. Our main focus is building relationships with our clients. So no, it is not a standard fee. It is not a normal here in Ghana. We do charge commission fees, just as in the US and other countries, where real estate agents, whether you're the listing agent or the buyer's agent, and you charge 3% commission. Here in Ghana, the commission for property sales is 5% commission. For land, it can go up to 10% because obviously the value of lands are much less than that of the properties. However, commissions are only paid out after a successful real estate transaction. Commissions are also paid for rentals. Typically, if it's up to a year, it's 1 month's rent. If it's less than a year, like half a year, it could be half a month's rent. We also have our business registered. This is very, very important. You want to make sure that whatever real estate agency that you are working with, their business is registered, they're paying their taxes to GRA, and they have a visible office location. This is so key because in the event that there is a certain challenge or a mishap in the real estate transaction, you want to be able to find the real estate agent. So it's very important that they have an office location. These are requirements that are all part of being part of the Ghana Association of Real Estate Brokers. Being a part of that association as well, we do undergo background checks to ensure that nobody who's part of the association has any criminal background. Next, please. These are some of the awards that we have received. And of course, one of my favorite is the Most Respected CEO in Real Estate and the African Women Awards. I've also made appearances on BBC World News talking about real estate investment opportunities in Ghana, TV Africa as well, Metro TV, City Newsroom, and Business and Financial Times. Thank you. Next slide. All right, let's talk about red flags. How can we identify some of the red flags during the home buying process? You want to make sure that your real estate agent that you're working with is using standardized forms. What's happening is a lot of people are drafting their own sales and purchase agreements or their own tenancy agreements. They're using templates from Google or ChatGPT. Please make sure that you're using standardized forms that have been drafted by legal entities. If in the event that the developer or the seller does not have any title documentation, that is a red flag. You want to always make sure that they're presenting you with either the title certificate or the indenture. Even though you're being presented with these documents, it is still essential that you do your due diligence. You want to make sure that a surveyor goes out to the site, picks the points, creates a site plan, and then you run a search at Lands Commission with that particular site plan. There have been a few horror stories of people just taking the site plans for face value, and later on they find out they purchased a road or even a part of a forest. So you want to make sure that you are doing your due diligence even after you receive these title documents. Another red flag is when you're receiving tremendous pressure to pay, particularly in cash. We all know that real estate is an avenue for money laundering. So a lot of times people want to pay cash up front, or they want you to pay cash up front. We don't take cash. Please mute your lines. We don't take cash in our office at all. I encourage you, if you are under pressure to pay cash, then more than likely that property probably doesn't even belong to whoever is trying to take the cash up front. Always do wire transfers or certified checks. If your real estate agent does not have an office location, or the developer or the seller does not have an office location, it is a red flag. If their business is not registered, you want to always check with the Register of Deeds. It is a red flag. And if they're not part of any accountable body, like Ghana Association of Real Estate Brokers for real estate agents, and with real estate developers, you want to make sure that they are being regulated by GREDA, G-R-E-D-A, which is Ghana Real Estate Developers Association. So these are some of the red flags that you can identify during a sort of shaky real estate transaction. Next slide, please. Financing options. I'm going to touch on this briefly, but I'm very happy to say that in Ghana, we now have a lot more financing options. On April 19th, I will be releasing some courses, some course videos that will talk more in depth about the home buying process and about financing options. I mean, there are well over 12 different mortgage products out there that you can apply for. So some of the financing options right now is upfront payment. Upfront payment does not mean bringing cash in a black plastic bag, as people tend to do. Upfront payment means you're paying 100% through a bank wire transfer or a cashier's check. Payment plans are some of the options. This particularly applies to off-plan sales. Off-plan sales is similar to a new construction overseas. Now you're finding that a lot of developers are more flexible with the duration of the payment plan. They can go anywhere from 12 months to even 60 months, up to 5 years. And this is even beyond the completion of the property, because they do understand that people need a longer tenor to be able to successfully pay for the property. Yes, they are mortgage options. Typically, you'll be looking at a down payment. It could be anywhere from 20 to 30%. And here in Ghana, the maximum loan term is up to 20 years. I know in the US, you can go 30 or some cases even 55 years, but here in Ghana, it's up to 20 years, and there is an age limit. The age cutoff is 60. So if you are 60 right now, unfortunately, you would not be able to qualify. If you are 55, you would get a 5-year mortgage. There is also seller financing. We're seeing that quite frequently now because it is very investor friendly. For example, if you're buying a property, you can put 50% down, and then the seller will allow you to rent out that property, and a portion of the rental income can go towards paying the balance of the remaining 50% over an agreed duration. So that agreed duration could be 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, whatever's agreed between yourself and the seller. There are also rent to own options as well. And there's so many options, and I think I'll talk more about that in the upcoming courses. All right, next slide. Henry, next slide. Do your due diligence. Let me touch on the escrow service. The escrow service we have in place. Let me talk about a land transaction. So for example, if you've identified a plot of land that you would like to purchase, instead of typically paying 10% directly to the seller while you conduct your due diligence, the 10% will actually be sent to the escrow account. And then the lawyer will conduct the due diligence, and usually people conduct due diligence at Lands Commission, but there are over 8 different places that our legal entities will conduct the due diligence. I'll go into more detail in the course we'll be releasing on the 19th of April. So once the due diligence is done and the results are satisfactory, then the escrow agent the legal entity, will wire funds directly from the escrow account to the seller. The purpose of this is a lot of times if you put that 10% payment directly to the seller to reserve your land while you're conducting due diligence, if the due diligence comes back unsatisfactory, then that means the seller would have to pay you back that 10%. Now, how many of us know that the seller might have gone on vacation and that 10% may not be immediately available for a payback? So we want to ensure that your funds are safe. It's just like using a title company or a law firm overseas. That's when you're purchasing a plot of land or plots of land. Now, if you are purchasing an off-plan property, funds are placed in the escrow account and they are dispersed according to the disbursement conditions in the sales and purchase agreement. So for example, the agreement can be that 10% is dispersed and then foundation is completed. We work with building inspectors that will then go out, inspect the foundation. Once they give the green light, then the escrow agent disperses the next amount until lintel level is completed, window level. Once that inspector goes out, inspects it, it's okay, funds are dispersed up to roofing level. Again, the inspector goes out, and then finally at the completion where the fittings, etc., are done. And then there is the transfer of deed from the seller to the buyer. So these are the steps that are taken through the escrow agent. Next slide. Okay, a few things to be aware of because I get asked these questions a lot. A lot of people ask about the lease terms. There are videos, viral videos going around saying that, hey, if you buy a property or buy land in Ghana, you don't fully own it. And after a period of time, they will come and seize it. That is incorrect. Ghana has leaseholds. I know overseas you have fee simple or freeholds. We do not have freeholds. A lot of countries across the continent do not have freeholds, and also even in the UAE, I believe it's up to 99 years as well. If you are a non-Ghanaian citizen, you are entitled to up to 50 years. If you are a Ghanaian citizen, it's up to 99 years. The question I typically get is, if I'm married to a Ghanaian, do I get the 99 years? No, you don't. You get the 50 years, unless your spouse who is Ghanaian signs on their own. Then they would be entitled to the 99 years. Now, though you are having this leasehold, you still have 100% vested interest in the property. At the lease expiration, and this is why you need lawyers to assist throughout the real estate process. On the actual indenture, there is a clause that can state automatic renewal at a reasonable cost. So no, they won't come and seize the property. You can actually renew it, renew the lease. You want to find out about the builder's warranty. Now a lot of developers, we call them builders as well, are providing a 1 to 2 year warranty. Please also check the fine print for the builder's refund policy. Typically, if you have put, for example, if you've bought a property and you've made a 70% payment, all of a sudden there could be circumstances beyond your control and you need to have those funds back. You can request a refund. However, you need to check the refund policy. There may be a penalty fee for that, simply because you have taken the property off the market and it's basically the opportunity cost. They missed the opportunity for maybe a upfront buyer to purchase that property. Homeowners associations, rules and regulations, you want to check that as well. I had a situation with a client that bought a property and it was in a gated community, and the homeowners association spelled it out very clearly, no big dogs, and he had a pit bull. So unfortunately, we had to come up with a solution, and I think he ended up having to really secure his home in order to have that dog in the home. Service charges. Service charges are similar to homeowners association dues. Service charges are monthly fees that are paid for the maintenance of communal areas. So the gated community, 24-hour security, electric wire fence, CCTV cameras, lawn maintenance, painting of exterior walls, the pool, gym, yoga room, that sort of thing. It's for maintenance of those communal areas. Taxes. Yes, they are taxes in Ghana. So you want to make sure that you are getting tax information from accountant here, but I will give you a brief overview. Next slide, please. I'm going to be wrapping up soon. Next slide, Henry. Thank you. So taxes, capital gains, 15%. Rental income tax for residential properties, it's 8%. Non-residential properties, commercial properties, office space, retail space, 15%. Property rates, it all depends on location, and this is determined by the local district office. It will vary anywhere from 0.5% to 3% of the actual market value of the property. Next slide. All right, so I was just talking about the home buying process, and this is the flow chart. So first of all, you want to identify your budget and home preference. Then you want to use a professional real estate broker like Ewell's Realty to help you find your house. And then you pay a deposit into the escrow account and sign the sales and purchase agreement. The escrow agent or the lawyer will do their due diligence to validate the ownership of the property. There will be a home inspection, very, very important. And then the handover of keys and the transfer of deed. Now, this is the point that everybody gets excited. They're homeowners and they stop here. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not stop here. Continue the process. Make sure that once you receive the deed of transfer, it is then registered at Lands Commission. And then you will receive your official title document from Lands Commission. And at that point, you can invite me to your housewarming party because congratulations, you are a homeowner in Ghana. Next slide, Henry. All right, to get in touch, we have Ewell's Homes, which is our real estate developments department. We are developing this year. We're going to be building 4 beautiful townhomes. Please scan the QR code for more information, or you can visit the website, ewellshomes.com. Ewell's Realty, that's our brokerage end. For rentals and purchases, we can assist you as well. Next slide. Please make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. I do provide a lot of educational tips, a lot of good information to assist you on your homeownership journey in Ghana. So please follow Hanna Attaase or Ewell's Realty, and please do check out our YouTube page as well. I also provide advisory services for those of you who are interested in expanding your real estate investment portfolio to Ghana. There's the link there as well for book Hanna. Next slide, and I am open for questions. Please ask me a lot of questions because I really want to make sure everybody has a good understanding about the home buying process in Ghana. Thank you.
Okay, Hanna, we do have some questions. And
Wonderful.
the first question is from Nadine Luke. Does the 50 to 99 years apply to condo and townhouse purchases?
Yes.
Okay. And then Umi wants to know, are annual property taxes due? I'm not sure. Umi, can you, she wants to know if they're due annually. Are taxes due annually? Oh, okay. So our taxes due.
Yes, they are. They
Okay.
are due annually. And again, depends on location, depends on the assessment, but it's anywhere from 0.5 to 3% a year.
And Malik wants to know if the property tax rate is yearly. I guess that's the same question.
Correct.
Yeah. Tiffany wants to know, are property taxes ever reassessed, or once determined, are they set for the duration of your ownership?
When you say set for the duration of your ownership, to be honest with you, this is what the taxes should be. I own property. I have not seen a tax bill yet.
Okay.
So yes, this is what it should be. You know, I think the government is working on enforcing taxes to be paid. The real estate agency market is not yet regulated. They did set up the Real Estate Agency Council for the purpose of regulation. It is not yet in full effect. I do believe that in due time, once all these regulatory bodies are set up, we will begin to see enforcement of taxes, etc.
Okay. Eric would like to know, where can I find that list of red flags?
I have it.
So, and he has your contact, or should have your contact information now, right?
Yes, I think I have some of the eWell's team leads on the platform, so I'm sure they can send you our company email, and we can get that over to you.
Okay. Rhoda said, you are so thorough, can't think of any questions.
Thank you.
Okay.
And this was just a brief overview. Again, I'm going to put together a more detailed course that will be released on April 19th. So please look out for that in your emails.
Cassandra Charles, I was lucky to perform in Ghana at the big festival. What about properties for artists or dance studios? Can the house be a live workspace?
Can the house be a live workspace? Absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yes.
There's plenty of live spaces, real estate properties there.
Yeah, they are. We have perfect examples that people have the lower level as the workspace, and then they live on the top floor.
Victor wants to know if you can please explain stool versus privately owned land.
I'm going to be talking about that more in depth on August 19th, but yeah, there are different types of land depending on the ownership. So stool land is owned by chiefs. You have family land that is owned by a private family. You have private land that is owned by individuals like you and I. You have state land that is owned by the government, like recreational parks, etc. So they are different categories of land depending on the ownership. Great question.
Okay. Vanda would like to know okay, please show the previous slide. Vanda, I'm not sure what slide it is.
Contact information.
Yeah.
Henry, please show the contact.
Henry, please show the previous slide. I think it's the QR codes.
Yeah.
Henry, thank you.
Okay, the previous slide was.
Let's go back to the other one, Henry. Sorry. Thank you, Henry.
There you go, Vanda. And please let us know if that is the correct slide that you were talking about. Malik, are you taking new agents? I'm a realtor in Philly working on relocating there within the next 6 to 12 months. That is actually an awesome question. Hanna?
In fact, you are relocating at the right time. eWells is in, eWells is currently expanding. We are taking on new agents. In fact, we just hired new agents 2 weeks ago. We also just opened up an office in Cape Coast. Woohoo! So we are hiring. Yes, we are. So please put your information in the chat. One of the team leads, either Joe, Henry, Mercy, will be in touch with you.
And we are also going to be doing a real estate certification training as well. So stay tuned, look out for that. And the diaspora, it's only actually going to be offered to the diaspora. And so we're very excited to be rolling that out as well. Not sure, we don't have the exact dates yet. It's in May.
We do.
Okay,
I can give you the dates.
Okay.
Yes. So the Ghana real estate certification will be taking place through Ghana Institute of Real Estate Brokers, GIREB. There's GAREP is the association, GIREB is the institute. The course will be starting on May 19th. It is a 3-week course. May 19th to June 6th. It's Monday through Friday. So after taking the courses, you will then take an examination. Once you pass the exam, you'll receive your certification at an award ceremony.
Woohoo. All right, Jawanza would like to know, does the mortgage note include principal, interest, taxes, and insurance? And can you get pre-approved in the US to purchase in Ghana?
Yes. So it does include homeowners insurance. So it will be, it's not PITI, but it's principal, interest, and insurance, PII.
Okay.
Now, in terms of getting a mortgage, yes, there is a US bank that offers mortgages in Ghana. There are also banks here in Ghana that offer mortgages here in Ghana using your US credit report, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. They'll be looking at your credit scores and your credit history to look at your ability to be able to pay back. They will also be looking at your debt to income ratio.
Okay. And Adama, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Who does your estate negotiate with at the end of your lease renewal? Chiefs, Land Commission?
The owner. So if the owner is the chief, yes. If it is family land, it's the family. If it is government land, it'd be Lands Commission. So it depends on the original owner.
Okay. Fabienne, how do you make sure to be able to renew after 50 years?
Make sure that the legal entity puts the right clause in your indenture.
Okay. Melanie would like to know, I've run across a few properties offered as freehold. Are you saying there is no freehold in Ghana?
As of the Land Act 2020, there is no freehold in Ghana. And this is exactly why you want to make sure that a real estate agent, a professional, and a legal entity is part of the real estate transaction. You must always make sure you have at least a real estate professional, a legal entity, a valuer, a building inspector. You know, you want to make sure that these individuals are part of the real estate transaction. And let me say this, when you are purchasing property in the United States, you don't simply walk to a seller and give them money to purchase that property. You go through a title company, you go through a real estate agent, you go through a valuer, which is an appraiser, and you go through a building inspector. It's the same principle that we implement right here at eWealth Realty.
Lillian would like to know, what is the safest way, platform method, etc., to transfer funds for your home or land purchase to Ghana from overseas, assuming you already have a bank account in Ghana?
If you have a bank account in Ghana, if it is a USD bank account, Euro bank account, you can transfer from, for example, your Bank of America, Wells Fargo account, Capital One account in the United States, wire it straight to your USD account in Ghana.
Okay.
That is for large sums. If it is not, you know, a large amount, well, we're buying a property, so it's going to be a large amount unless you're just paying for the reservation fee or something like that. Then, you know, there are different platforms like World Remit, there's PayAngel, there's SaveWise. I mean, they're different platforms for a smaller amount.
Okay. Nadine would like to know, are the duplexes or quadplexes set up the way they are in the United States?
How are they set up in the United States?
I'm assuming you're asking about the structure, side by side, or?
Well, as far as how they're laid out, whether it's 2 stories or 1 story, but one family, like we have children. So my husband and I could live in one unit, and then each of our children, their families could live in other units. Is that possible? Or if we wanted to rent out a unit, is that possible in Ghana? Because I saw
Yes.
some postings for duplexes, but it didn't seem like it was like a duplex. It seemed like it meant something else.
So a duplex in the States is it's similar to a semi-detached townhome in Ghana.
So when you purchase a duplex, do you own both sides or do you only own one side?
You would own one side. You would have to purchase each side because it's a semi-detached townhome here. So they're two separate.
Gotcha.
It's not one entity. It's two separate.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, it is possible that if they're wanting to purchase a duplex, they could possibly have one built that way, correct?
Yes, you can have it built that way, but not,
Purchased
already
that way.
existing that
Right.
way. Yes. So
Okay.
she could definitely buy land and build it that way. And there are financing options. I think it's more like construction to perm loans, which I'll
Right.
talk more about on April 19th.
Michelle would like to know, I'm 85% Nigerian. Can I get citizenship historically?
I told her we would send that question to Dr. Bennett.
Okay, Louv is actually gonna send that question to Dr. Bennett.
Thank you.
Will there be another session? Yes, there's gonna be a more in-depth session. And that is gonna be that April 19th date. Okay, Umi, are new developments available, meaning custom designs?
Yes. So typically, if you're purchasing a property off plan, which is new construction, the developer or builder will allow you to customize the interior. But the exterior, I mean, you're not going to be able to make those changes, but interior, yes.
Okay. Cheryl says, apologies, my phone. Okay, I think Louv just answered her. Chris, is there any sort of insurance for foreign investors in the event that things go south? Because how can we ensure that the money is not going to vanish, a la Jay Morrison, Tulsa, Oklahoma real estate fund, or Uma Johnson fictional school?
Well, that's why we've implemented the escrow service. And as I mentioned earlier, that is the best way to manage the funds by ensuring that it's dispersed according to milestones. So you have a certain amount dispersed until the foundation is completed. Once that's completed, then the next amount is dispersed until that's completed. So that is the best way to mitigate risk. And that is why we offer the escrow service. Now, in terms of insurance, it's something in the works, but the escrow service is the best way to go for now.
All right, Jawanza would like to know, does a typical residential transaction in Ghana take 30 to 45 days?
Is this purchasing with a mortgage? If it's purchasing with a mortgage, it could take up to 60 days. But if you are purchasing it through the escrow company and it's not a off plan, it's an existing property, it could be much less than that. It could be less than 30 days. If the funds are in the escrow, the due diligence is completed in 2 to 3 weeks, it comes back satisfactory, then yes, funds can be dispersed immediately.
Okay. Danielle would like to know, what is the average price of a new construction home?
It depends. It depends on if it's, is this a condo? Is it a studio? Is it a townhouse? Is it a single family home? It depends. And it also depends on the location. It depends on the square meters, the square feet. Maybe you can be a little bit more specific and maybe say what would a 4-bed that's about 1,000 square feet cost in cantonments? Then I can give you a better idea. But the average home prices could be anywhere from, again, it depends on the location.
Okay. Shamika would like to know, how soon should they start the process of purchasing if they're going to do financing?
If they're going to do financing through the bank, the first thing you want to do is get a pre-approval. Then that will determine how much you qualify for. Once you get your pre-approval letter, then your real estate agent can start looking for homes within that price range for you. I think that's the best way to go, rather than to just start looking at properties and you may not even qualify for that if you're taking out mortgage financing.
All right. And you've already explained that the financing could take about 60 days. Right. So
For disbursement, I mean, the
for
pre-approval.
disbursement.
Right. It's the same process. The pre-approval can take a few days. I mean, if you're able to get everything in, your credit reports, your bank statements, your pay stubs, that sort of thing, the bank can do a pre-approval. Let's say, you know, turnaround time is within 7 days. After they do the pre-approval, then you have to search for a home. That could take some time until you find your home. Once you find your home, then we got to do due diligence through the Lands Commission and all the other various 8 places. After the due diligence is completed, then, you know, you can look at disbursement. So I would say it could take anywhere from 30 to 60 days.
All right. Okay, are there any more questions? Shamika wants to know, are there restrictions on Airbnb?
In terms of restrictions, it depends on the property management, the building. There are some places, let me just say that, you know, they don't really want a nightly stays, like less than maybe 5 days or less than 7 days, because they don't want the property to be used for things it shouldn't be used for. But then you have other property managers and managing units, and you can have short stays. The type of restriction maybe you're asking about could be the fact that now with the Airbnb in Ghana, you have to be licensed through the tourism authority to be able to have that, because it's part of the hospitality sector if it's being used for Airbnb. So I think that's what you're referring to. But again, all restrictions will depend on the homeowners association dues and what the guidelines are in the policy.
Okay. Tiffany would like to know if there are finance options for self-employed people, like so people that get 1099s. Okay.
Yeah, so self-employed people, yeah, you won't have pay stubs, but your bank statements, they'll be looking at cash flows, they'll look at 3 years audited financial statements, that sort of thing. So yes, there is financing for entrepreneurs.
Okay. Chris wants to know, is it too late to start investing?
No, it's the right time. It's not too late.
Last
And
question.
Z3, this is the last question that I see here. What are the standard fees with purchasing properties? ETC, agent, attorney, etc. Agent, attorney, inspection fees, etc.
All right, so if you're using a real estate agent, again, our real estate commission, so our fees are 5% for properties. Land can go up to 10%. If you're using our escrow service, we actually have a fee sheet. So if you send your email address, we'll have the fee sheet sent out to you from the various law firms that we work with. It depends on the price of the property. It can be anywhere from maybe $1,200 to a couple of $1,000. And then if you're using a valuer, appraiser, it depends on whether it's a commercial or residential. It could be a couple of thousand Ghana cedis. And I think those are, and the building inspector, it depends on how many times they have to go out, but it varies anywhere from $200 to about $400, depending on the location. If they have to travel to Cape Coast, or if they're gonna just be here in Accra, and depending on whether it's an off-plan or it's a one-time visit. So sometimes they'll visit, they'll do their report, and there's certain things that need to be completed, and so they have to make another trip out there. So that varies as well.
Okay, another question came in from Jawanza. Does the seller or the buyer pay the commission?
It depends who you're representing. So just like the states, you have the buyer's agent and you have the listing agent. I know some states, I know there was a new law that changed in August, but some states it is the listing agent. is paid by the seller that they're representing, and then the buyer pays the buyer's agent. So it's the same thing in Ghana. There is also instances of dual agents. If there's one agent representing both the buyer and the seller, they must disclose that, but they can get commissions from both ends. So whoever you're representing pays you commission.
Correct. All right, that is all the questions for this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for joining us. We look forward to continuing the conversation. And Love, do you have any closing remarks? Yes, I would love to thank everyone for participating today, for your interest in the continent. And we just hope that you are inspired, and that you're inspired to get active, to get involved, to participate. And like Her Excellency stated earlier, just bring back something. All of us have some type of talent, value, finances that we can use to support the continent. And I just encourage everyone to find your mission, your passion, your purpose. And thank you so much for joining us today. And you know what? We forgot to give everybody a Krell's website, or just at least let you guys know you could actually go on to the website. It has all of our listings on there. Thanks to eWells. It's www.akrells.com, ACRELS.com. It's in the chat. We will send an email to everyone just giving updates. We'll let you know details about the class coming up on April 19th. And we look forward to serving you. Yes. We're here for the long haul. There's over 200 properties on there right now. And there's gonna be some agents that's actually onboarding right now to upload their listings onto the MLS platform of Akrells. So just very, very excited. And all I can say is let's glow and let's grow together, together. All right.
Contracts signed, futures entwined, homecoming sweet, no nations blind. Diamonds ain't just jewels, they're in the mind. The diaspora shines where the suns align. Stock markets roll, but so do our plans. Generational wealth for these hands. Land rights called justice expands. A legacy brewed where the red soil stands. Africa unlocked, the key is in you. Bridges rebuilt, the old made new. Home is a heartbeat, don't misconstrue. Africa unlocked.